Okay, so it seems like we have a little bit of an update on the whole Twisty situation, which I talked about a couple of hours ago. Now, essentially, if you guys don't know, Twisty Amanozako is a NIJISANJI EN liver who essentially has been caught kind of saying some pretty horrible phrases online in some private chats in a league game, I'm pretty sure, talking about fans, talking about VTubers, and talking about her own company, which is kind of crazy. Now, obviously, yeah, Twisty has got a lot of followers. They got 62,000. I think they've got around the same amount over on YouTube as well. And we covered the previous situation of a video, which was leaked. It was a 7-minute video. If you guys want to go watch that, I literally play the entire video itself, so you guys know exactly what was said and what she said, to those people. But it seems like this video has actually been taken down from the channel. I looked it up. I tried to search it up on YouTube. I just couldn't find it anywhere. All I saw was like my video, some other people's videos as well. And again, it has no content anymore. It's completely disappeared. But it seems like we do have a response from Twisty themselves talking about it, which does confirm these clips. Now, I don't know why this has been taken down. I don't know if this is maybe the fact of someone, tried to take it down. Maybe a fan of Twisty's tried to take it down, or Twisty herself tried to take it down, or if this person just deleted it because they thought, that person was getting too much flack. Maybe they got told to take it down by someone else, or there'll be like action taken against them. Maybe NIJISANJI got involved and told them to take it down because, again, they do have that kind of like lawyer power, I guess, whenever it comes to that kind of stuff. But yeah, the video does not exist on YouTube anymore, and it seems like we have this post from this account called Lulu. Now, there's been no official response from NIJISANJI EN. There's been no official response from Twisty on her main account, but it seems like this is her like kind of alt account or whatever you call it, and it's followed by a lot of big VTubers and things like that as well. And this is definitely in regards to a lot of this kind of stuff. But let's go through this apology or reply here, saying, this is something I've been reflecting on long before today. I know not everyone will agree with my decision to post this, but I feel like my fans and the people hurt by my words deserve clarity and an apology. So essentially, they say a recording of me from almost a year ago was leaked, and I want to address that to the best of my ability today. So again, already confirmed that this was almost a year ago. So it's not exactly the most old clip. It's, kind of recent. They say, what I said was hateful, cruel, and insanely inappropriate, racist, transphobic, and honestly just straight up mean. I don't want to try and make excuses. Regardless of what I was angry about or dealing with, those words are wrong, and I want to fully own up to it. So again, here we go, fully owning up to all of those things that were said in the video, which kind of confirms to us that that video was real. I think in my last video, obviously I said to you, it was kind of up in debate whether it was real or not. Some people thought it was like AI, some people thought it was like kind of edited or something like that to make it seem like that. But obviously, no, this is confirming that it's real. This is confirming that this person said, yep, I did it. Now, they say that conversation came from a place of protectiveness and frustration over how someone close to me was treated. But regardless, that doesn't excuse the language I used. And I'm sorry my anger boiled over into something ugly and hurts so hurtful to many. To me, words were always just words. There was never any deeper meaning to anything. I felt that if you had the ability to speak, why not say whatever you want? I never really questioned thoughts nor beliefs I grew up with until very recently. I've luckily been able to meet some kind-hearted and wonderful people that pushed, supported and urged me to become better and grow as a person. I started to realize how much power words carry. They are able to hurt people, inflict and reinforce harm, and even make people feel unsafe, even if I didn't mean it in that way. I feel that over the past few months, I've come to understand that being careless doesn't mean my actions are not harmful. To me, growth is about unlearning things, listening, and actually thinking before I speak, and learning how to take responsibility for my actions. After gaining these new friends who were able to correct and educate me on all of the things I'd done wrong, I realized that the words are not just words, and they can hold meanings and that are able to reflect the lives of others. I've had a lot of time to reflect on how I speak and how I treat people, and I fully intend to be better. Now, I don't know if they're referring to the friends that were in the video, because obviously, if you guys saw the video itself, their friends, or at least one of them, was just like, hey, I don't really know about, that. I wouldn't really refer to them as that or whatever, which was, you can see they're very uncomfortable with having that conversation. But they say, as someone who lives in America, even just in 2025 alone, I've witnessed many injustices towards marginalized communities, things that I cannot unsee or ignore. Growing up, I was surrounded by certain attitudes and beliefs that I never questioned, I took them as normal, even though they're rooted in ignorance and bias. When my mum found out I didn't vote for the hateful and oppressive president she supported, she nearly disowned me. That moment really shook me because it made me realize how much of my identity had been shaped by trying to meet other people's expectations or avoid conflict. It was the first time I truly stood my ground on something I believed in, even when it cost me. That experience pushed me to start thinking for myself more critically, to ask why I believed what I believed, and to recognize how easy it is to stay complicit in harmful systems when you're just going along with what you've been taught. So again, yeah, they're going fully into it here. The same, but I feel like this past year has been a turning point. With the help of friends who have educated me and shared their experiences, I've started to really understand just how much harm those old ways of thinking can cause. I have made the choice to turn away from what I was raised on and actively to unlearn all the harmful rhetoric. So what I'm kind of getting at here is that the family that she grew up with wasn't exactly the most, it didn't have exactly the most best views in terms of things. So maybe that could be a factor as to why she thought in that way. They're saying maybe it's dumb to say because this conversation happened not that long ago, but even in the small period since the incident occurred, I do think I have started to grow more as a person. I want to be absolutely 100% clear on this. Despite all of the awful things I said, I've never truly held those views, and to this day I still do not. The words I used were ignorant and deeply hateful, but I do not believe they represent my actual beliefs or values. Racist, transphobic, violent, or otherwise, any type of dehumanizing language has no place in the community I'd like to create. Even in moments of frustration or anger or anything, saying those things was unacceptable, and I'm deeply ashamed of myself. I know a lot of people see me as based or want to put their views and feelings onto me, but that is not the type of person I am. And yeah, I saw a lot of people saying this, lots of people saying, oh, based, I'm going to go follow her, whatever. I think that's just horrible. I think you are just a horrible person if you do say that. It's not based, and even she's saying it's not based. And it's very clear that you're just being straight up transphobic, straight up racist, if you kind of support this kind of stuff going on. They're saying, I'm just a girl who wants to stream and have fun with her friends and fans, thinking about cute seals and cute girls. I have never and will never promote that kind of behavior to my fans, and I regret setting a bad example to them. I also want to clarify a few things. I do not hate my fans. What I said was in a moment of burnout and bitterness, aimed at the people who spammed me for specific content or not respecting or giving value to me as a person. I let that frustration turn into generalization, and that's my responsibility. It doesn't make those words okay, and I'm deeply sorry to everyone by hurting them. Which again, I do think, that could be true. Obviously as a content creator, I understand sometimes you get these weird people that kind of request way too much of you, and it's it does get very tiring and annoying, and you can fall into like a generalization thing, but again, I feel like they were a little bit too far to say like they hate all of them. But hey, they say, I have nothing but respect and admiration for artists. I never wanted to demean anyone's work. In the whole conversation that's emitted from the clip, I was talking about how much I wish I could have different model proportions, such as those this artist draws so beautifully. I really have a lot more love and respect for their work, and have always been extremely vocal about this. I'm unable to fully clarify the contents of my original statement there, but I want to reiterate that it had nothing to do with the beyond wonderful art. And then finally they say, I know that there's no perfect way to apologize, and some people won't be able to forgive me, and that's 100% okay. I'm honestly just extremely sorry all of it happened. I know this can disappoint many. Some will never forgive me again, and I can generally not blame them. I'm sorry that I ever said these things, and I'll keep doing the work to make sure that I never say them again. Thank you to those who stood up to me, and to those people who have called me out on it. I'm paying attention, and I'm learning, and I'm trying to move forward as the person I want to be, not the person I was that was on cool. There are a lot of things I wish I could address, but I'm unable to. For what I have said, I tend to struggle with words, so I hope that I was able to convey my feelings properly to you. I'm going to be taking some time and stepping back to focus on myself and taking this seriously. I generally never want to be that person again. To those groups I hurt, to my fans, and to anybody else affected, I truly apologize. So again, obviously that is the full response coming from Twisty on her alt account. And obviously, yeah, it's an interesting one. I mean, it does explain a lot of the things that she said and why she said them. But at the same time, I feel like, this person down here said, I think you're fine. Problem is, certain people will never accept your apology. I mean, there is still, a kind of thing, you know, in the background, being like, you still were pretty racist and transphobic online, and it doesn't matter how angry you get, you should never really resort to that kind of thing. And obviously they're not condoning it there, and they're saying that, you know, it was obviously very wrong. People saying we will have bad days, but doesn't mean that we should go, you know, throwing a tantrum and saying racist, transphobic things while you're calling your fans broke. Do better. Again, you know, obviously they said they were going to try and do better, but again, I think it's one of these things that is just like, I feel like NIJISANJI, like, you can accept her apology or whatever. I mean, it's up to you guys if you accept this or don't accept this. But I honestly do think she should be kicked from NIJISANJI. She shouldn't be allowed in this group again, especially after all of that stuff coming out. I mean, you know, she can go indie or whatever and maybe, you know, gain some fans from that. But honestly, I feel like they're going to be coming from the, you know, wrong place. And, you know, although there has been this apology here, I think the damage has already been done by that clip. And people were saying, you know, well, that sucks. I thought we actually had a good one, but now she caved. Sucks. I don't know what they're referring to there. They say apologies never work. They said, let's be honest, probably only apologized because what she said came out to the public, which, yeah, it's definitely true. I mean, if this never came out, there would never be an apology, you know? There would never be any kind of change, and it would be kind of crazy, you know? And I think that, yeah, I feel like, you know, a lot of this kind of stuff, people only apologize whenever it comes out. And, you know, maybe you can believe her and say that, you know, she has some really good intentions behind this, which again is totally fine. But also at the same time, you know, it's kind of, you know, funny how it literally comes out at exactly the same, you know, time. But I don't know. Obviously we can keep going as well. Some people saying, you know, caved already, lame. I mean, there's a lot of people here that are saying like she caved, saying that, oh, you were based. Like, don't apologize, you're so based. I feel like that's just horrible. Saying that, you know, oh, you were based for saying that kind of stuff. But again, I feel like there's going to be very mixed opinions whenever it comes to this kind of stuff. I mean, you know, you can have your own opinions whenever it comes to this, but I'm just kind of covering the apology. And, you know, let me know down in the comments what you guys think about this, and, you know, whether you think that this was a good apology or not. Because, again, it's a very interesting one, and this actually came out literally while I was making the video, or like a little bit after I made the video, and I didn't even notice it. So yeah, this is pretty much the open and shut case of this, unless NIJISANJI do reply as well themselves, but we have to wait and see for that kind of response to see what happens to her kind of live career. But yeah, if you guys did enjoy this video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Also, go to GameSubs, use my code KASA, get 10% off. Again, they've got a ton of really cool stuff over there. I definitely recommend checking it out. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. That's all. See ya.